Welcome to the WV Mason Coaches Report with head women's lacrosse coach Shannon Smith. Welcome, Coach.
Thank you very much for having me.
So let's recap the last week. 2 games. You went on the road for your first 2 road games of the season. Let's start last Wednesday at Marist, 14-8 victory. Just your overall thoughts on the game.
Yeah, Marist, we came out really strong, and that was our goal, was to come out strong. But I think we had a little bit of a letdown going into the second half, and that was something that we needed to fix upon. And our team needs to learn that when we have a lead, we need to build upon that lead and not let the other team back in. I thought overall our offense was really starting to click, and we need to tighten up a little bit defensively. But overall, it was a great game to watch, and our offense really started to click, which I was really happy about.
Yeah, it kind of went the complete opposite way of every other game. The season to that point, you jump out to a 7-1 lead at halftime. Did you almost feel like you had to teach your players a whole new way of playing the game at that point? Like, okay, now we have a 6-goal lead instead of trailing by 3 or 4 or whatever it's been in the New Hampshire, Fairfield, etc. games. How was that halftime like?
Yeah, I think it was a new experience for them. And actually, I went into the locker room and I was kind of, I wasn't happy with their play. It was a little bit sloppy there towards the end of the first half. And I was like, we need to go out in this half and you need to now step upon this lead. We've been in this position before, down like this, and this team isn't going to back down. They're going to keep fighting. They've done it in their previous games. So now it was a new experience for us, and we're going to learn from it. And our team is really young, and they're going to learn from it. And now hopefully next time as we have this opportunity, we'll build upon the lead instead of allowing the other team back in.
Well, like you said, Marist came back, cut it to 11-8, and then Hofstra put the final finishing touches and won 14-8 by scoring the last 3 goals of the game. You're probably not happy with them allowing them to come back to 11-8, but then the finishing with the final 3 goals and just putting the stamp on the game, I guess, has got to make you happy with the ending.
Definitely. I think it was their composure was great, and they didn't allow Marist's run that they were having to affect them, and I thought they had great composure, and they really did what I asked for them offensively. And I think Britain was a little bit more aggressive behind to open up the attack and really hit those covers in the middle to get those other 3 goals.
We'll talk about Britain in a second, but through the early part of your head coaching career, we've noticed that you're not somebody who calls timeouts. You put a lot of trust in your student athletes, that you prepared them well enough during the week. Did you feel at that point that you had to call timeout in that Marist game just to say, regroup and say, we're fine, we're up 3 goals, and just move on?
Yeah, I called a timeout after they went on that little bit of a run, and I was like, we need to, their run is over now, okay? We need to come out ready to be focused, slow the ball down a little bit offensively, let's get everybody get some touches, and let's spread them out and take them one-on-one.
Britain Altamare, as you just mentioned, 7 points in the game, tied her career high. Is her game just going to the next level at this point?
Yeah, it really is, and it's really growing each game, which is really exciting and definitely really fun to watch. And she still has a lot to work on, but I think everything I asked her to do so far, she's doing, so I'm really happy with it.
CA Co-Player of the Week this week. She always had a great freshman season. Has something made a change in her game this year that's allowed her to even go even further forward, or is it just her advancement as a player?
I think a little bit of both. She wants it. She wants to be great, and I think just the way we're running our offense, and she's working really hard at it. And I think overall everybody on the offensive end is doing their jobs. She wouldn't be getting those goals if it wasn't for our off-ball people really preoccupying their defenders, and Julia's doing a great job at alleviating some of the stress behind by dodging really hard from the left side. Jill's doing a great job for us as dodging as well, and the people in the middle are doing a great job at occupying. And I think Britain's really taken the role of being the quarterback behind the net for us on the field, and she's doing a great job at it. And I throw a few tips out there as the position I played, so I throw tips out at her all the time, and she catches on really quickly. And any challenge I throw at her, she's usually ready, asking for the next challenge right away.
Great. So that win over the Marist gives you a 4-0 record this year, tying for the best start in program history. Do you as a team talk about stuff like that you're leaving your mark, and you're extending the history of the program?
Yeah, it's something that we definitely talk about with them pretty openly, because we are in this transition period, and it is hard, getting used to a whole new team and then getting used to a whole new coaching staff, especially for some of the older kids on the team, the upperclassmen. But I think overall they're doing a great job at it, and it is something that we talk about, because I think everything that I've asked them to do, all the adversity and all the challenges that we've thrown at them, they have done everything and beyond anything that I've asked them to do. So it is something that, I'm like, listen, all your hard work is paying off. This is the best start that you've had in this program since 2005, and it is something, that I think they should be acknowledged for, and especially because of the transition period that we're in.
It's interesting. You have a roster with a slew of seniors, but you have a roster with a slew of freshmen and sophomores doing the majority of the scoring, though. So it's kind of a nice balance you have going on right now.
There is a great balance, and I think, we're able to have that because our seniors on our team do a great job at leading this team, and they've done everything we've asked them to do, and they have tremendous leadership on this team, and they're really, directing the younger players on this team and leading them in the direction that they need to go to. But I think the senior class works extremely hard, and I give them all the credit in the world because it must have been hard on them right here in the beginning because of the change, and they've really took it and ran with it. And I think they see, something special forming here in their program, and they want to leave their mark on the program in their senior year.
4-0, head down to Maryland, top-ranked team in the nation, on Sunday to face the Terrapins. Before we ultimately get to the game, your thoughts going into a game like that, with a young team doing most of the scoring. What were your thoughts going into that game?
I wasn't worried about it because I remember when I was younger as a player, you had nothing to lose, you only have everything to gain. So I had a feeling they were going to be quite fine going into the game, and they were just, might have been a little nervous in the first minute, but once you start playing, it's just a lacrosse game after that. And I think it was a great test for us. Going down there was going to be a great test to see exactly where we're at in our season and where we can go in our season. And Maryland is a phenomenal team with great speed, great athleticism, well coached, and it was going to be a great test for us. And I think our team did a phenomenal job and did what we asked them to do. And if we made a few more of our shots, or if we had a couple of defensive more stops, but that's part of learning and growing. And we'll watch this game film and we'll grow from it and we'll get better. And I think lesson learned is we're right there, and we need to work harder to get where we want to be, and we're going to continue to work hard, and the young ladies on the team will continue to work hard for what they want.
Dropped the game, 16-11 decision to Maryland. Second fewest goals Maryland has scored this season, and that includes games against number 2, number 4, number 6 ranked team in the nation. So you got to feel like there's tons of positives you can take out of this experience and going on the road at the number 1 team in the nation, right?
For sure, there is definitely a lot of experience that we can take out of this, and for our younger players, I think our freshmen and our sophomores really grew up in this game, and I think we can definitely take a lot of positives out of it, but we need to tighten up defensively. We couldn't allow some of the things that they were doing against us, and we're going to get better from that, and that's why to be the best you have to play the best, and it was a great test for us, and it's a great benchmark to where we need to move forward in our season.
Julia Reamer, hat trick in the game. What has really been the change in her game this year to have her just be such an offensive force coming into the early part of this season?
Yeah, I think the change really helped her, and Julia really caught my eye right from the beginning, from day one, and she's just a very hard worker, and she's extremely motivated to do well and for her teammates to do well, and she just wants the team in general to do well. She's such a great person, and it's been really fun to coach her and to get to know her, and she just dodges hard. She doesn't care. She's taking anyone. She doesn't care who's marked up against her. She's going to take them, and she's got a rifle of a shot. She's a lefty. She offers a lot to our offense, and there's a couple of things that we need to fix with her, and that's the fun part because she has so much to grow and still so much potential ahead of her.
You mentioned her being a lefty. As somebody who's obviously been around the sport forever, how difficult is it to defend against somebody like her, the lefty and the dodge coming in against the goal? Because it seems like teams are having a hard time adjusting to her on the field.
Yeah, and I think that's a testament to Julia to begin with her speed and her athleticism and how quick she is dodging. But I think having a lefty, it is hard. A lefty, it's definitely hard to save their shots. It's definitely hard to defend them, and having a lefty on our team, we're fortunate enough because it really gets to open up our offense, and it keeps the other teams balanced because we both have righties and lefties on the field.
She currently leads the conference in shots per game, evident by her ability to get shots on goal.
Yeah, and that's great. And one thing we're working with Julia is now we're getting all these shots. We got to put
Right.
them away. And we joke about it, but she works hard at it, and she knows it, that she gets all these shots, that we need her to start putting more of them away. And it's only going to come with experience, with playing more and practicing more. So I'm definitely looking forward to watching Julia put more of her shots away that she gets during games.
So your record now 4-1, still tied for the best start in program history through 5 games. You have a little break now until Saturday when you play Yale. First time this season you've had a nice little break. What do you work to do in practice this week?
Yeah, I'm excited. We haven't had a week of practice since I think preseason
Right.
in January, so it's really exciting for us. And the ladies on the team are really excited for the first week, and we worked hard today. And tomorrow we're going to work hard, and we're going to correct the things that we did wrong against Maryland. And then, later on in the week we'll start preparing for Yale and really focus on things that we need to do well to get a W in that game. But it's exciting for us. We're going to fix the things that we need to improve upon, and the things that we've been doing well, just keep improving upon those, and really tightening up on things.
Have you had a chance to look at Yale at all yet this year?
Yeah, we looked at them a little bit, and I know that Devin Rose is a great attacker for them, and they're athletic, and it's going to be a great challenge, and it's going to be physical, but I'm really looking forward to it.
And 3 of your next 4 games at home, with the lone road game, a local game at Rutgers, who's a longtime rival of Hofstra. It's a good stretch to kind of build on the early season success and move forward, isn't it?
Yeah, it is definitely, and we got to go day by day right now. We can't look ahead, and that's one thing we really stress on this team is it's day by day, and we have to work hard. We have to play like there is no tomorrow, and we need to get better individually and also collectively. And you got to work outside of practice, and the ladies are really doing a great job with it.
Well, thanks for joining us today, Coach.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
And thank you for joining us today on the WB Mason Coaches Board with head women's lacrosse coach Shannon Smith.